50 armed men don't ride into a town at dawn unless someone's about to die. They come for justice, vengeance, or war. And Samuel Rivers was about to discover which one it was. But let's go back to where it all began. 24 hours earlier, the Texas sun hammered down on the dusty street of Presidio, where Samuel had just finished loading supplies onto his wagon when he heard the shouting. At 38, Samuel had seen enough frontier trouble to know when to walk away. But something about the crowd gathering near the jail made him pause. Something felt wrong. The marshal was dragging a young Apache woman toward the gallows they'd erected overnight. Her hands were bound, her traditional dress torn and dusty, but her head was held high. She couldn't have been more than 25 years old, maybe 6 feet tall, with the bearing of someone who'd never learned to bow. The crowd was screaming for her death, calling her a murderer, a savage, demanding immediate justice. Samuel pushed through the mob, his heart pounding. He'd heard about the incident 2 days ago. A rancher named Dalton had been found dead, a single arrow in his back. The settlers had formed a posse immediately, tracking and capturing this woman within hours. No trial, no questions, just a noose waiting at sunrise. Samuel had known Dalton. The man had been poisoned, known for attacking Apache camps, burning their supplies, killing their horses. But nobody wanted to remember that now. They just wanted blood for blood. Samuel's hands were shaking as he stepped forward. Every face in that crowd belonged to someone he knew, someone he'd have to live beside tomorrow if he survived today. The marshal, a hard man named Garrett, was already fitting the noose around the woman's neck. Her dark eyes swept across the crowd with contempt, no fear visible in her expression. She said something in Apache, her voice clear and strong, and spit at Garrett's feet. The crowd roared. Samuel found his voice. "Stop this, Garrett. You can't hang her without a trial." Garrett turned, surprise flickering across his weathered face. "Rivers, this ain't your concern. Go home." "It is my concern when we become murderers ourselves," Samuel said, his voice carrying across the suddenly quiet street. "You don't know she killed Dalton. You don't know anything except she's Apache and he's dead." A man named Wilson pushed forward, his face red with rage. "His arrow was in Dalton's back, Rivers. Apache arrow. That's all the proof we need." Samuel looked at the woman. She met his gaze without flinching, and something passed between them in that moment. Recognition, maybe, or just the shared understanding of two people who'd both seen too much senseless death. "I'm invoking territorial law," Samuel said loudly, pulling a crumpled paper from his coat. "Any accused has the right to trial by a circuit judge. Judge Hammond is due in 3 days. We wait." The crowd erupted in angry shouts. Someone threw a rock that missed Samuel by inches. Garrett's hand moved toward his gun, then stopped. He knew Samuel was right about the law, even if he hated it. "You're making a mistake, Rivers," Garrett said quietly. "These people want justice now. You stand in their way. You become part of the problem. Then I'm part of the problem," Samuel replied. He moved to stand between the woman and the gallows. "I'll take responsibility for her until the judge arrives. If she's guilty, she'll hang legal. If not, we prevented a murder." For a long moment, nobody moved. Then Garrett nodded slowly, calculating. "You keep her at your ranch. She escapes. You hang in her place. She kills anyone. You hang in her place. That clear enough for you, Rivers?" "Crystal clear." Samuel cut the noose from the woman's neck, careful not to touch her. She watched him with unreadable eyes as he led her toward his wagon, the crowd parting reluctantly. People he'd known for years looked at him with hatred now. He'd crossed a line that couldn't be uncrossed. The ride to his ranch was silent. Samuel drove, acutely aware of the woman sitting rigid beside him, her bound hands in her lap. The desert stretched endlessly around them, rock and scrub and heat. His ranch house sat alone, 10 miles from the nearest neighbor, which suddenly seemed both a blessing and a curse. Inside, Samuel cut the ropes binding her wrists. She rubbed the raw skin, still watching him with those intense, measuring eyes. He gestured to a chair, but she remained standing. They were nearly the same height, which unnerved him somehow. Most women he knew were smaller, quieter, deferential. This woman looked like she could kill him with her bare hands, if she chose. "Do you speak English?" Samuel asked. She said nothing for a long moment, then, yes. Her accent was slight, but noticeable. "Did you kill Dalton?" "No." "Who did? Does it matter to your people?" "One Apache is the same as another to you." Samuel flinched at the truth in her words. "It matters to me. I just staked my life on your innocence." She tilted her head, studying him with new interest. "Why?" "Because hanging an innocent person would make us no better than the worst among us," Samuel said. "And because I knew Dalton. He wasn't killed by a random Apache. He was killed by someone he'd wronged, and that list was long." The woman moved to the window, looking out at the barren landscape. "My name is Dakota. I am the daughter of Chief Naiche of the Mescalero Apache. I came to this area tracking my brother, who disappeared 3 months ago. I found his body 2 days before your Dalton died. He'd been shot, left to die of thirst, his horse stolen. I was preparing his body for burial when your people found me near Dalton's ranch." Samuel felt ice in his stomach. "Dalton killed your brother?" "I believe so. I found my brother's belongings hidden in a canyon near Dalton's land. A distinctive knife my father gave him. Beadwork my mother made. Dalton liked to take trophies. Then who killed Dalton? I do not know, but the arrow in his back was Chiricahua work, not Mescalero. Someone wanted it to look like Apache revenge, but they used the wrong tribal pattern." She turned to face him. "You would not notice this, but another Apache would." Stop for a moment. Dakota is standing at a crossroads we've all faced in different ways. She could tell Samuel the full truth about what she knows, risking everything on his honor. Or she could stay silent and protect herself first. If you were Dakota, what would you do? Would you trust someone from the people who want you dead? Or would you guard your secrets and wait for escape? I need to know, because the truth is this: someone watching this right now is facing their own version of this choice. Maybe it's deciding whether to be vulnerable with someone who could hurt you. Maybe it's choosing honesty when deception would be safer. Maybe it's extending trust when every instinct screams to stay guarded. Your answer might be exactly what someone needs to hear today. Comment below, "I would trust because," or "I would stay silent because." There's no wrong answer here, only honest ones. And honest voices change lives. Now, let's see what Dakota decided. Samuel's mind was racing. If Dakota was telling the truth, and he believed she was, then someone had murdered Dalton and deliberately framed the Apache. Someone who knew enough about tribal differences to fool white settlers, but not enough to fool another Apache. "You need to tell this to Judge Hammond when he arrives," Samuel said. Dakota laughed, a bitter sound. "Your judge will not care about tribal arrow patterns. He will see an Apache woman and a dead white man. That is all the justice I can expect." She was probably right, Samuel realized with growing dread. Hammond was fair by frontier standards, but his fairness extended only so far. The testimony of an Apache woman about subtle differences in arrow fletching wouldn't outweigh the simple narrative the town had already embraced. "Then we need to find who really killed Dalton," Samuel said. "We have 3 days. We?" Dakota's expression showed surprise for the first time. "You would help me prove this? I already put my neck in a noose for you. Might as well see it through." Samuel moved to a map on his wall, studying the area around Dalton's ranch. Who else did Dalton hurt? Who else had reason to want him dead? Many people, Dakota said, coming to stand beside him. He cheated his workers. He stole water rights from other ranchers. He attacked my people whenever he could. But to kill him and blame us? That requires someone who knows both worlds. Samuel thought of the few men in the territory who moved between Anglo and Apache society, traders mostly, and interpreters. Martinez, he said suddenly. Juan Martinez. He worked as a translator for the army, but he also traded with the Apache bands. He'd know tribal differences. I know this man, Dakota said, her voice hardening. He came to our camp 2 months ago, asking about my brother. Said he had information about white men who were hunting Apaches for sport. Wanted to help us. My father did not trust him. Smart man, your father. Samuel grabbed his rifle and checked the ammunition. Martinez has a trading post near Flat Rock Canyon. If we ride hard, we can be there before dark. You would ride with me? What if I lead you into a trap? What if I am lying about everything? Samuel met her eyes. Then I'm a fool, but I don't think I am. They rode through the afternoon heat. Two unlikely allies in a land that rewarded neither trust nor mercy. Samuel found himself watching Dakota as they traveled. She sat her horse like she'd been born on it, her eyes constantly scanning the horizon for threats. She was magnificent in a way that had nothing to do with conventional beauty and everything to do with pure, uncompromising strength. They reached Martinez's trading post just as the sun was setting. The building looked abandoned, its windows dark. Samuel dismounted cautiously, his hand on his gun. Dakota slid from her horse silently, moving like a shadow toward the back entrance. Inside, they found signs of hasty departure, papers scattered, supplies half-packed, and most tellingly, a collection of Apache artifacts displayed on the walls. War lances, ceremonial beadwork, a chief's headdress. Dakota froze when she saw them. These are not trade goods, she said, her voice shaking with rage. These are stolen from the dead, from people killed and robbed. Samuel examined the items more closely. Some still had dark stains he recognized as dried blood. Martinez hadn't been a trader. He'd been a grave robber, probably worse. Look at this, Dakota said, holding up a familiar-looking knife. My brother's blade. The one I thought was in the canyon. Martinez had it here all along. He killed your brother, Samuel said quietly. And when you started asking questions, he killed Dalton and framed you to divert attention. But why kill Dalton? Maybe Dalton was his partner. Maybe they had a falling out over the profits. Or maybe Samuel picked up a ledger from the desk, flipping through pages of transactions. Maybe Dalton was blackmailing him. Look at these payments. Large sums going to someone with the initials GD every month. Gerald Dalton, Dakota said. So Martinez killed him. Used a Chiricahua arrow to make it look like Apache work, knowing it would satisfy your people's thirst for revenge. And when I was captured nearby, it was perfect. A real Apache to blame. Samuel nodded grimly. We need to get this evidence to Judge Hammond. This proves your innocence and Martinez's guilt. They were loading the evidence onto their horses when riders appeared on the horizon, 12 men, and Samuel recognized Wilson leading them. The mob had come to finish what they started. Rivers, Wilson shouted as they surrounded the trading post. We knew you couldn't be trusted. Thought you'd help her escape, maybe. Didn't figure you for a full traitor until we saw you riding off together. Wilson, listen to me, Samuel called back. We found evidence. Martinez killed Dalton, not Dakota. He killed her brother too. Been robbing Apache graves and selling artifacts. Convenient story, Wilson sneered. You got proof? Samuel held up the ledger. Right here, payments from Dalton, artifacts stolen from the dead, including items belonging to Dakota's brother. Martinez killed them both. The riders exchanged uncertain glances. but Wilson's face remained hard. Even if that's true, even if Martinez is guilty, she's still Apache. Her people have killed plenty of ours. Maybe she didn't kill Dalton, but she's guilty of something. They all are. Samuel felt Dakota tense beside him. This was the moment he'd feared. When evidence wouldn't matter, when facts would surrender to hate. No, Samuel said firmly. This ends now. We're not murderers, Wilson. We're not animals. We follow the law, or we're no better than the worst men on this frontier. You chose her over your own people, Wilson said. That makes you a traitor, Rivers. And traitors hang alongside savages. The rifles came up. Samuel moved to stand in front of Dakota, knowing it was futile, but unable to stop himself. This was the choice he'd made, and he'd make it again, even now. Then a voice rang out across the desert. "Lower your weapons." Judge Hammond rode into view with a squad of cavalry, their uniforms dusty from hard travel. "I received word of an unauthorized execution attempt and rode ahead of schedule. Someone want to tell me what's happening here?" Samuel explained everything while Dakota stood silent and dignified beside him. The evidence laid out clearly. Hammond examined the ledger, the stolen artifacts, the Chiricahua arrow that didn't match Mescalero craftsmanship. His face grew darker with each revelation. "Where is Martinez?" Hammond demanded. "Gone," Wilson admitted grudgingly. "Saw him heading south yesterday. Thought nothing of it. Then we'll issue a warrant. As for Miss Dakota," Hammond turned to her, removing his hat respectfully. "You are free to go with my apologies on behalf of the territorial government. Mr. Rivers, you are to be commended for your courage and integrity." The cavalry escorted them back to Presidio, where the story of Martinez's crimes spread quickly. Some townspeople looked ashamed. Others remained hostile, but they kept their distance. Samuel helped Dakota prepare for her journey home. "My father will hear of what you did," she said as she mounted her horse. "You saved my life when your own people wanted me dead. That is a debt the Mescalero do not forget." "No debt," Samuel said. "Just doing what was right in my world. That is the definition of debt," Dakota replied with a slight smile. "If you ever need help, if you ever face danger from my people or yours, come to our lands. You will find sanctuary." She rode north toward the mountains, her back straight, her head high. Samuel watched until she disappeared, knowing he'd made an enemy of half the territory, but feeling strangely at peace. Over the following months, Samuel's ranch became known as a neutral ground. Apache traders stopped there safely. White settlers who needed help but feared approaching Apache camps would ask Samuel to mediate. He never sought this role, but it found him anyway. The choice had been simple, the consequences hard, but he would make the same choice again if asked. That was enough. If you enjoyed this story, click on the video on your screen now to watch another unforgettable frontier tale where courage and choices shape destinies in unexpected ways. Don't forget to subscribe and consider a super chat donation to help us continue bringing you more stories like this. Your support means the world to us.